basic components of pipes and cisterns. Nothing fancy here. Same as what we have done all this while. Now, when I say pipe A can fill a tank in 20 minutes, pipe B can fill the same tank in 30 minutes. If both the pipes are kept open, how long will it take for the tank to get filled? Sounds the same question, same idea. Instead of calling total work, we start calling it the total capacity. And instead of units, I'm going to call it liters. That's all. So 60 liters in 20 minutes, that's 3 liters per minute. 60 liters in 30 minutes, that's 2 liters per minute. Same funda, 5 liters a minute, and total time taken will be 12 minutes. Same idea, ditto. Whatever you have learned until now, you can use all those ideas in pipes and cisterns. Exactly the same. You can use fractional method, you can use LCM method, whichever you feel comfortable with. But the only change, I won't call it a change, the only addition to pipes and cisterns, now think about this. Whenever there is a work happening, you think about a work, let's say building a car, constructing a house, laying roads, sorting files, working on a project. We always talk about positive work here. But think about a tank. When you say a pipe can fill a tank in, so you are talking about a tank. Now I can put in a pipe and then say I'm filling this pipe. But is this the only work that can be done inside the pipe? This is the only action that can be done. Now think about it. Is that the only thing that you can do? Is there anything else that you can do about it? Now think at your place. You have a tank on the terrace. When you switch on the motor, water flows inside the tank. But is it the only thing that happens? In your washroom, in your kitchen, in your sink, in your wash basin, wherever there are taps, when you open the tap, water from the tank flows through the pipe. So there is a pipe which can also drain it. So there could be pipes that are draining a tank. There could be pipes that are filling the tank. So the only addition that we have here is a drain pipe or a leak or a valve. You can find it in different words, which does negative work here. It's not filling the tank. It is doing the opposite. It is draining out water. It is removing water in some ratio. You fill it in one particular efficiency and then you drain it in an efficiency. So since it's going to be draining it out, it is taking water from the tank, we call it negative work. And to imply negative work, we simply added minus sign. Now same question, if I say there is another pipe that drains the tank in 15 minutes. This is a drain pipe. How long will it take to fill the tank? Same procedure. Take the LCM of all these values. Here I have taken 60. This will be 4 liters per minute. But hey, this is a drain pipe. It's not filling it in. It's removing 4 liters every minute. So I'm going to denote it by minus 4. You denote it by minus 4. So all 3 pipes are kept open. 5 minus 4, that's 1 liter per minute. So to fill 60 liters, you will take 60 minutes. That's the only add-on that you have here. You can have inlet pipes, you can have outlet pipes. You will find it as filling pipes, drain pipes, inlet pipe, outlet pipe, valve, leak. The words differ, but the ideas are same. Clear? Any doubts? So we will solve a couple of basic questions to get to the gist of it now, so that you feel comfortable. But then I've added some layers to it. It won't be straightforward as what we did now. We'll solve a couple of questions and then have some 2 beautiful questions sitting in. In case you have already solved it, shoot your answers over here. You saw that in the shorts, put it over here. We'll discuss it and then we'll solve that question as well. Right? So we'll go on to the first one now. I'm going to do one set of questions. Again, for the first 3 questions, I'm not going to give you much of time. Let's have 3 minutes a question and that's your time. Hey Santosh, Athar, everyone, hi. Just missed out on your wishes. Yeah. Greetings. Yashika, there's a Y. I suppose that's a yes. I assume that's a yes. I'm good, Santosh. I'm good. Thank you. Santosh, Karan, Shyam. I'm getting 21 hours. Ritu, Ananya, everyone's getting 21. So I'm going to take 21 as the right answer to this question. So let's do this. So the question says, two inlet pipes A and B can fill a tank in 12 hours and 18 hours respectively. So I'm going to say that's A is equal to 12 hours, B is equal to 18 hours. A leak at the bottom at the bottom can empty at the full tank in 36 hours. C can empty it in 36 hours, but I'll have to remember that this is a drain pipe. Right. So I'm going to go for the total capacity again. Total capacity, take 36 liters. 12 hours, 36 liters, that's 3 liters per hour. 36 liters, 18 hours, 2 liters per hour. 36 liters in 36 hours, negative work, 1 liter per hour. So we have found the efficiencies. We'll stick with it, but then we'll go to the condition. Pipes A and B are open together. Now, sometimes the question, you make an inference here. Now, was the leak open or not? Think about this. Was the leak open? Pipes A and B are open together. That's given. It says there is a leak. Was the leak open or was it shut at the beginning? Now I understand if it is a leak, it's not shut. It's an open valve. The water leaks through it. It's not a drain pipe. If the question says that it is a drain pipe, I'll be worried about, hey, was the drain pipe kept open or not? But now I understand the leak is forever open. And the universal assumption that I'll always take, or everyone for a fact takes that, is that the leak is at the bottom of the tank. So the leak starts operating from the moment the question starts. The moment you start filling the tank, the leak also starts to operate. So we don't understand, okay, it's in the midway through, half the tank has to be filled, unless or until the question defines some condition like that. I will predominantly assume that if there is a leak, that leak starts operating from the moment the tank gets filled. So don't confuse that. The leak was not open. They didn't mention where the leak is. They don't mention where the leak is. It is understood it's at the bottom of the tank. That's how we take it. Right. So for the first, after 4 hours, now understand, through the time the leak has been operating. Through the time you will understand that the leak is operating. But there is some condition that's added here. We'll go to that. It first says A and B are open together, but A and B is not working alone. The leak is also operating. I've added plus L, but I understand that's minus. If you want, you can write it as A plus B minus L. In my head, I know that's negative. If you're not sure, write A plus B minus L. It's not a problem. After 4 hours, pipe B is closed. So for the first 4 hours, A, B and the leak was operating. After 4 hours, pipe B is closed, which means A along with L has been operating. After another 3 hours, which means for this 3 hours, it has been A plus L. The leak rate doubles due to damage. Now there is some damage happening here to the leak and the leak rate doubles. It does not operate at 1 liter per hour now. It doubles, which means it is operating at 2 liters an hour. So I will say for the rest of the time A plus 2L. 2 times the L value is being operated. And that way I have filled the tank. How many total hours will it take to fill the tank? Done. So A plus B plus L, 3 plus 2 minus 1 for 4 hours. It has been 4 liters per hour. 3 plus 2, 5 minus 1, 4. So for 4 hours, we have been filling it at the rate of 4 liters per hour. Done. Next for 3 hours, 3 minus 1, that's 2 liters per hour. And in that way, it has been operating for 3 hours. So that will be 3 minus 1, that's 2 liters per hour. And for the rest of the time, that is 3 liters, but twice the rate at which it is leaking. So that's 2 liters an hour. So 3 minus 2, I am getting only 1 liter an hour. But I don't know how long this is being operating. We'll go to that. 4 into 4, this is 16 liters filled. And in this zone, 3 into 2, 6 liters is filled. So that's a total of 22 liters is being filled. Right? I still need 14 liters of the capacity to be filled, and that will be filled at a rate of 1 liter per hour. So 14 liters filled at a rate of 1 liter per hour, that will be 14 hours. This entire 14 liters. So what is the total time taken? 4 plus 3 plus 14, that's 21 hours. Bingo. All those who have shot the answer, 21, good job, well done. You can give a pat on your back and say, hey, you have done good. Right? I'm going to have one quick look at the chart. This is inlet outlet question, 21 hours. Question is easy. Skim 3 minutes, solve that question 6-7 minutes, approximate maximum 10 minutes. Yes, that's the idea. For the last 2-3 questions, we will take more time, but then I want you to get a hang around it. Not everyone is comfortable at the right from the word go. So I'm going to give you slightly those 3-4 minutes for you to understand and then solve it. The more time you get down the line when you go, you will reduce the time that you take to solve a question. Right? Can we jump on to the next question now? Shall we? Are we good with this question? Another question, go for it, solve it. What's class timing? The session on YouTube here runs from 9 to 10. That's the scheduled time. Starts at 9, but depends on how long we take. But the scheduled time is 9 to 10. But I think you might not need the entire 3 minutes to solve it, but then I'm already starting to see the answers flow here. So we'll have a crack at this one now. It says pipe A fills a tank in 15 hours, pipe B fills it in 20 hours, and pipe C can empty it in 30 hours, 15, 20, 30. The following cycle is repeated continuously. First hour AB, second hour BC, third hour AC. How long will it take to fill the tank completely? We have already done a question on cyclic patterns. So every time you see a cyclic pattern, you go close to the capacity and then operate it on a hourly basis to see whether it completes a cycle or it doesn't. Sometimes a perfect cycle will complete it. Sometimes it won't be the case. So you will not gradually say 7 liters every 3 minutes. So 70 liters. So that's 30 minutes. You don't do it that way. Don't get carried away. Sometimes we do it, we tend to do it. So hang on. So we get A is 15 hours, B is 20 hours, and then C is 30 hours. But then once again, C is my drain pipe. So total capacity once again, I'm going to take 60 liters, 4 liters per hour, 3 liters per hour, and then 2 liters per hour, but drain negative. So the first cycle, that's A and B working. A, B together give me 4 plus 3, that's 7. The second cycle, that's B and C. 3 minus 2 gives me 1. And then in the third cycle, I get A and C working. 4 minus 2 is 2. So for every cycle, for each and every cycle, I happen to get 10 liters. 7 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. That's 10 liters for every 3 minutes. Now this is what I said. Your mind will say, okay, 3 minutes, that's 10 liters. And then you say into 6, multiply 6 times, which means I'm doing 6 cycles, which will be 18 minutes, that's 60 liters, right? I notice a bunch of 18 sitting here. I notice I have spotted those 18s. This is where the trap is. Do we really know that it is 18? I'll show you. Now it's super important. One of my favorite puzzles that I talk to people about is this. Before we get back to this, let's attack this puzzle. Think of this. I'm giving you think. Imagine there's a frog that is stuck at the bottom of a well. It's a dry well, no water in it. It's dry. It's in the rock bottom. Okay, that's 20 feet tall. The well is 20 feet deep, not tall. You say the well is 20 feet deep. So the frog has to come up 20 feet. So what happens is the frog puts in an effort to climb up. So there is a pattern that this frog follows. One whole day, 24 hours, the frog climbs up. And it can go up by 2 feet. It can go up by 2 feet. But since it has climbed for one whole day, 24 hours, on the second day, it dozes off. It sleeps. But since it sleeps, it slips down by 1 feet. So day 1 goes up by 2 feet, day 2 comes down by 1. Day 3 goes up by 2 feet, and then day 4 comes down by 1. Day 5 goes up by 2 feet, and then comes down by 1. So goes up 2 feet, comes down 1 feet. Day 1, first day up by 2, second day down by 1. It keeps doing this pattern over and again. How many days will it take for the frog to come out? The question is, how many days will it take for the frog to come out? I'm going to look at your answers. Let's see what we have in store here. "20 feet current, 20 feet. The well is 20 feet deep. Current says 20 days. How 20 days? Is it 20? Yes, there comes the answer. Parsha says 40 days. Athar says 20 days. Current says 20. I don't know how it's 20. Revisit your pattern, revisit your solution. Parsha says 40 days. Okay. Right. Since I have my desired answer 40 days, let's see if it is 40. Now what happens is, this question is fine. I'll give it to you. This question is in your zone for you to say 18 minutes. I'm not going to deny that part. But the problem that I have here is, you start following this pattern through the time. You will automatically start to multiply it. Now 10, 60 liters, it works. So our minds are designed to do that. The same pattern has happened with this 40 days. Your logic now says, hey, every 2 days 1 feet. That's what you have thought about, right? You think about 1 day 2, second day -1, third day 2, fourth day -1. So for every 2 days you climb up 1 feet. So your mind says 20 feet 40 days. That's what your mind will say. You cannot do that. I'll tell you why. Every 2 days 1 feet logic is correct, but only up to a certain extent. Every 2 days 1 feet. So 20 days 10 feet. 30 days 15 feet. Till here fine. From 30 days, if I put another 2 days, 32 days, that is 16 feet. 10 days 20 feet. Sorry. 20 days 10 feet. 20 days 10 feet. 30 days 15 feet. 32 days 16. 34 17. 36 18. So 36 days 18 feet up, done. On the 37th day, for 1 whole day, the frog will climb up 2 feet. It is already at 18. It goes up by 2 more feet. 18 plus 2 20. It has come out of the well. It took only 37 days for the frog to come up. Now your mind thinks, then how is this 40 happening? This is where our intuitions fail. You don't think about it intuitively, it fails you. 37th day 20 feet. 38th day you drop it down by 1 feet, which is 19. I will forgive you for this. But on the 39th day you will put the frog 2 feet from 19. 19 plus 2 is 21. The well is only 20 feet. It is at 21 feet in the air flying. Can that happen? And then 40th day you drop it down by 1 feet to put it to 40. So remember again, cycles, just because the pattern, the cycle fits in perfectly, you will not straight away take it. In this question, all of them are in positive. All of them are in positive. So it is convenient. It keeps filling, getting filled over and again. And also the pattern seems to be neat. But had it been having some negative numbers at some point, then you'll have to worry about it. Here I can say for every 10 liters, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes, 10 liters. Another 6 minutes, 20. 9, 30. 12, 40. 15, 50. 18, 60. Here it is 18 minutes and it works. It sits well here because of the fact there is only positive work happening. And also the cycle, the value divides it easily. So here it is 6 cycles of 18 days, works. But don't take that logic to all the questions whenever you have negative work. You have to be super careful about when the cycle ends in a negative tone, it means that you have overflown the tank and then removing it. You have to be very cautious about it. Ensure that you get it right when you solve those questions, right? Um, clear? Technical Madhyam 20 days. You might have to work on your solution again. 20 days is not right for the frog question. I'm struggling a bit with your lectures. I would be happy to take your feedback. Tell me where you're struggling. Is it my language, my flow, my explanation? Feel free to let me know. We'll do it. Anyone who's struggling to cope up with my pace, do you want me to slow down a bit? Let me know. I'll be happy to take it. Someone is saying that they're struggling. If you want me to slow down a bit, tell me slow down. I'll take notes. I have this natural tendency of talking a bit fast. That's how I talk. That's my flow. I have to consciously put an effort to do it. Unless or until you don't tell me, I might not know. I will assume that you folks are comfortable with the flow that I'm going with. So let me know if you want me to slow down a bit. Not 36, 37. On the 36th day, at the end of 36 days, 18 feet completed. On 36th day, it drops down by 1 feet, 18 feet completed. On 37th day, it will go up by 2 feet. So 18 plus 2, that's 20. Right? We'll hop on to the next one now. This one's a neat question. This is very interesting. Go for it. Slightly lengthy and tricky. Attack this. Santosh is asking, I'm coming from Odia background. How to increase your English? How to increase your skill in English? Santosh, the simplest solution that I can give you, the easiest and the toughest at the same time, happens to be reading. Read a lot. Start with something simple, some small novels in English. Go for it. Some 30-40 page novels. Start there if you are struggling, and then slowly transition into some proper reading material. Build this habit of reading. That's super important. Anyone who handles VRC, or anyone preparing for CAT, or anyone who teaches for CAT, tells you the simplest or the most important skill practice that you need to have is reading. Nothing beats it. The ability to endure 2 hours in the exam or build your skill set over there, reading helps you a lot. Start there. That's where at least I tell people, I don't read a lot, but then I understand how important it is. I see people improving drastically the moment they get to reading. So take that. Seven hours. Karan, the entire, okay, 7 minutes. All right. I'm afraid 7 might not be the answer. Athar was also getting some. Oh, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Santosh gets 8, Athar and Karan gets 7. Interesting. Let me poke around it. Pipes P and Q can fill a tank individually in 14 and 35 minutes respectively. A person opens both pipes at the same time and leaves, returning at the time when the tank should normally be full. However, he observes that the tank is still not full because there is a leak. He immediately repairs the leak and the tank becomes completely full 5 minutes later. So, there's a tank that can be filled by two pipes in 14 and 35 minutes respectively. He opens both the pipes. He does a calculation and he says, okay, at this time the tank should be full. He goes out for a break, a tea break, has a sip of tea, comes back exactly at the time when the tank is supposed to be full. But then he realizes the tank is not full because he has realized that there is a drain, there is a leak that has been leaking water out. He realizes, oh, now this should be fixed. He goes, he fixes this leak, and then the tank takes another 5 minutes to get completely filled. It takes another 5 minutes from there. If the leak had not been repaired, how much additional time would it have taken to fill the remaining portion of the tank? Now they are saying when he comes back and he doesn't repair the leak, he says, chalo, we'll continue to fill it the same way it has been filled. How long would it take? From the point where he realizes that there is a leak till the end of the tank getting filled, how long would have it taken? Nice question. Once again, we'll go to it. P is a pipe that's 14 minutes. Q is the other pipe that takes 35 minutes. So once again, my total capacity, LCM of 14 and 35, 35 into 2, 70. 70 beautifully goes in 14. So 70 liters is the capacity of the tank. So this is 5 liters per minute. This is 2 liters per minute. This is 2 liters per minute. Now together they could have given me 7 liters per minute. That is what it is. Beautiful. Now the tank from the beginning, for some time, both of them were kept open. How long? It comes back when it should normally be full. So at 7 liters per minute, the tank would have been filled in 10 minutes, which means that I know for a fact both of them have operated for 10 minutes. This part is evident. How do I know that? It comes back at a time when it is normally full. At 7 liters per minute, 70 liters would have been filled at 10 minutes time duration, exactly the 10th minute mark. But when he comes after 10 minutes, he realizes that there has been a leak that has been leaking water out. Now interestingly, how long was the leak operating? What is the duration of the leak that it was operating? Now can I say this entire 10 minutes, the leak was also operational, it was functional. The leak was leaking water for this entire 10 minutes. So 10 minutes of leaking has happened. 10 minutes of leak has happened, which means that 10 minutes equivalent of leaking of water has gone. Now what happened? The guy fixed this issue and then he ran the pipes for another 5 minutes to fill the tank. Now the question should be, why did he operate the pipes for another 5 minutes? Whatever water was lost by the leak had to be compensated. So can we say whatever the 10 minute of leak happened was compensated by 5 minutes of filling? Can we say that? Whatever I filled it in 5 minutes was the equivalent of draining it out for 10 minutes. Right? How do I know that? We know the leak was operating for 10 minutes. The leak was fixed and then filled for 5 minutes. It was filled for another 5 minutes, which means that whatever water we had leaked in 10 minutes had to be compensated by 5 minutes of filling. Right? Or can I say 5 minutes of filling is equivalent to 35 liters. So 10 minutes leak, 10 minutes of leak is equal to 35 liters, right? Which means I have drained out 35 liters from this tank, which infers to the fact that at the mark when the leak was fixed, I had to fill another 35 liters of water in the tank. Now who is going to fill it? It will be the filling pipe, it will be the drain pipe, it will be the leak pipe as well, right? It will be the fill pipe, it will be the drain pipe, which is the leak. PQ will be operating, leak will also be operating, because that is the question. How much time, additional time would it have taken to fill the remaining portion of the tank if the leak had not been repaired? I did not repair the leak at this point. I repaired the leak at this point, I would have taken 5 minutes of filling. I did not repair this leak, which means my leak is minus 3.5 liters per minute, because 10 minutes of leak is 35 liters, 1 minute of leak will be 3.5 liters. So 1 minute of leak is 3.5 liters per minute, which means in 1 minute I get 3.5 liters. To fill 35 liters, I will need 35, sorry. For filling 35 liters, I will take another 10 minutes. And that will be your answer. Clear? I'm going to have one quick look at the chart here. Sangram is asking if the leak had not been repaired, it would have taken 10 minutes more. 10 minus 5 equal to 5 minutes extra. No. This is a conditional clause. Oops, sorry. Sangram, you have to be super careful here. This is a conditional clause. If the leak had not been repaired, how long would it take to fill the tank? 10 minutes. That's all. It's not, I would take another 5 more minutes. This condition is not even taken into account. I say, think about this. I go by bike, I take 10 minutes. I go by a train, I take, or let's say I go by walk, I take 20 minutes. How much time more I would take to fill the remaining tank? That's 20 minutes. You don't say by train, by bike would have taken 10 minutes, by walk you are taking 10 minutes extra. No. From this point, how much time, more time I would take? 20 minutes. From this point to this point, remaining tank to be filled takes 10 minutes. How much more time it takes? It takes 10 minutes here, 10 more minutes here. According to this question, 10 minutes of filling and then another 5 minutes. Don't get confused. I know there is a confusion here. You have to be super careful while reading that. Right? Great. Anyone with any questions, any doubts? Such a tricky part. You might have to navigate through all those loops to get it. But these are questions that you should be bagging. If you happen to get a question like this on your paper, you should say I'm spending 3 minutes to this question, because your answer is right in front of your eye. You can easily crack it. So don't dump. Time and work happens to be one of the most important topics of arithmetics, because you invariably get a question, definitely, and it's not going to be that tough. Maybe with one idea called man days, it's slightly lengthy and tricky, people leaving and joining, but every time you get people working with different efficiencies, it is definitely a moderate nut to crack. It's not a tough nut. So there are topics, the moment you see it, you say, okay, I'm not doing it. These are topics that you should say, okay, I can give it a try and then see where it takes me. Right? We'll hop on to the next one. Sangram is saying these questions are calculation easy, but the vague language leads to wrong answers. It's not vague. We haven't gotten used to it. Sometimes when something is out of your comfort zone, we happen to tend to take it to be a vague things that could be difficult to understand or perceive. You just have to get used to it. Repetitive solving, you'll understand what the question means. The intuition will start building there. So don't worry about that. Class notes and DPP PDF, you will get it after the class, Athar, as usual. Once we finish the class, you will get the class notes. You will get it, don't worry. Karan, Athar, Santosh, Varsha, you might have to work on the calculation solving part again. So the answers are wrong. So I think there has to be some calculative error. Ensure that you get it resolved. Karan says 80 liters. Okay. This one's tricky. I'm giving you a little more time to do it. Santosh, I'm preparing for UPSC. What I do, MBA or MA? I'm preparing for UPSC in PW Praram batch. Santosh, what should you do is something that you need to figure out, mate. You can talk about what works or what doesn't work based on your backgrounds. There's a bunch of things that needs to go into process for a decision making part here. But in a nutshell, what you feel like doing, what works for you, what is your style, what will keep you comfortable, all these questions are something that should be answered by yourself. What should you do, something that I cannot answer you. I can, based on some background that you give me, I can tell you this might work. I could be wrong. You can never let someone else decide for you. You can take inputs, but then for those inputs, I still need data. Even with the data, I cannot even tell you whether it would be right. $80. Okay. I don't think it is 80 liters. That's 2 liters per minute. That's 2 liters per minute. I don't think it should be 80 then. Ayushman is asking, can you tell me difference between MBA Wallah and MBA Wallah English? Ayush, it is there in the question. So in MBA Wallah English, you happen to attend all your lectures in a language that I am currently speaking, English. It will be pure English, not vernacular, no languages, no regional languages mixed with it. It will be out and out in English. That will be English, MBA Wallah English. If you say, hey, I have a comfort, I have a lenience of learning things in my regional language, to be very specific about MBA Wallah, I'm more comfortable learning something in Hindi, you switch to MBA Wallah, which will happen in English. This MBA Wallah English will happen in one language, and that is English. right? Now we'll do this. A drain pipe can drain a tank in 8 hours. If an inlet pipe that can fill the tank at a rate of 2 liters per minute is opened along with the drain pipe, it takes 10 hours to drain the tank. Find the capacity of the tank. Beautiful question. So just to give us an understanding, there is a drain pipe at the bottom which usually takes 8 hours. Usually takes, there is a tank, fill the tank. Now again I read this question and I will understand that the tank is full. It takes 8 hours to drain a complete tank. Usually the question will also say it. If it doesn't say, it's understood. So 8 hours to drain a complete